Hello everyone, my name is Anthony and welcome to my channel, Future Father Garage. I started this channel for young men like myself who want to see what cars are good now and maybe in the future in case the unexpected happens. So I decided what better than to start with my Miata. First, let's start with the basics of what even is a Miata. I'm sure a lot of us know, but essentially a two-door sports car with a convertible top. Maybe not the most practical if you have a little one on the way, but we're not there yet. So let's start off. Inside the Miata, we got a beautiful interior. This one is a 2020, so it's not as updated as it could be, but it's great if you're on the used market. Of course, you have to have that manual transmission. Now, you could get an automatic, but I won't judge you there. This car has auto climate control, AC, all that good stuff, and even comes with heated seats. Now, this car comes equipped with Bose, which is optional. And I will say that for a car this size, these speakers sound really good. Carried over is Mazda's older infotainment. They just updated that in the newer model. The infotainment in this car in 2025 is definitely not the best. It does lag and I find it to be cumbersome. It is a touchscreen, but a lot of the time I just use this knob, which you could totally get away with. This car does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, although it does have to be wired. One thing that's not very good though is this backup camera. They literally just stuck it on there to comply with US regulations, but it absolutely is useless. Usually I use my mirrors, especially at night where the light will completely flare it out and you can't even see. Here's the gauge cluster. It looks great. Center tachometer reminds me a lot of the RX-8, but that little screen down there will show you what gear you're in. Got a little LCD screen here, full color, which is something they added on the newer models. Shows you your temp gauge, and you could even click this and see a little bit of a more accurate number. This car gets obviously really good gas. It's averaging 31.3 mpg. And I have taken a few road trips and it is pretty good. You'll find what they'll call the glove box right in the middle of the two seats. Shift down and you'll see a little storage compartment, which literally is good for your wheel lock key. Both cup holders go here and they are removable, so you could put it right there. I had nowhere to put the car seat, so it's gonna be here, but I wish I could be without it. Behind the passenger seat, there's another little compartment, which obviously, if your car seat's in the way, you won't be able to access it without removing it. Total pain, consider it not there. This car is equipped with the HomeLink mirror, which is awesome. I use that all the time. There's no interior lighting in here, which makes sense for a car of this type. There's no driving modes in this car, straight 6-speed manual, which feels really good, really notchy, and has pretty decent throws. It's one of the better manuals that I've driven, although I will say the clutch does release real quickly. It has very little travel compared to other cars I've driven. When I first got it, I definitely stalled more than I would like. Obviously, one of the best features of this car is the quick release soft top. That easy. Clearly, this is a great car. There's no doubt about that. It gets tricky when it comes to having children, so we're gonna put it through the test with the Future Father Practicality Score. 10 different subjects, and we get to determine just how good this car is if you have a little one on the way, or maybe they're here already and you need to make a quick decision. Let's start off with the car seat. So you can see Angel right here sitting beautifully in this chair. Look how cute she is. Although I don't know how many people actually want to put their car seat like this in such a car. That airbag goes off up front and it may not be the most safe, so we're going to consider this a fail. Trunk space. It fits a diaper bag, obviously, very nicely. And it might fit a few groceries, but don't expect any large Costco runs or anything boxy. And definitely don't expect to fit that stroller. Rear leg room. Yeah. Obviously, babies like to spill stuff. So these seats, beautiful red leather. Now, I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want no baby spilling stuff on my seats, although that's inevitable. I say if you get these dirty, they'll clean up relatively nice, but if they start getting scratched, other stuff, they won't look that good. And they're heated. Don't know about spilling milk on these. That would not be a good scenario. When it comes to keeping your baby safe, this car has blind spot monitoring. You can expect a very annoying lane keep. I wish I could turn it off, but it shows an orange light on the dash the entire time. If you find yourself in the city and maybe you're a little bit distracted, this car should come to a stop for you, or at least show you this very big brake symbol on the screen. Haven't tested it myself, and I'm not going to. Let's see how easy it is to load your baby in here. First, you gotta remove the stroller off their face. Don't worry, most babies don't mind. You've got this big windscreen in the way, but you just unbuckle your little one and you're good to go. Okay, let me put her back. How easy it is to put her back. Obviously, Angel doesn't weigh as much as a toddler, but if you have a baby that small, or any baby, I should say, I definitely wouldn't be driving this car. There we go. Angel is sitting pretty. Just a bonus points, the sippy cup fits right here. Although this car seat does have some cup holders that maybe doesn't sit the best. The Miata will hold your baby's sippy cup without a problem. And other drinks too, like coffee. Next up is the driving portion. So I'm gonna do this with the roof down, and hopefully it all picks up good. Obviously this is a Miata. You know, we want our little baby here to enjoy the time. So we're gonna go on my designated route here. I've never driven with two cameras on my face, but here's what I will say. The Miata is great even in the cold. You know, it's kind of cold right now, we're in the winter season. Heated seats, put it on level 2, get the heater just right, blasting your face off, and it's perfect. One thing I will say, we'll comment on reliability, whether you have this car for yourself or you have children, which you can only fit one. And keep this in mind, you're not taking the wife anywhere with the kid. You're gonna have to choose, and I don't know how much the wife would like staying at home. I know she will like riding in the Miata with the roof down. Maybe you guys, you know, keep the car for 2 years and then sell it once your first one comes along. I can definitely see this car lasting, you know, years and years, especially properly maintained. It's a good car. There's really no more to comment on that. And I'll say maintenance is actually very cheap. Now, if you're looking for a new Miata, you're probably gonna pay more than you would like to, which, you know, I think you should just find a used one. This one was purchased used for around 23,000, but you can find a new one upwards of 30K. Obviously, when you have children, you got to keep pricing and saving money in mind. So this car really doesn't take a lot, and you know, in the high price state of California, it only costs about $40 to fill up. So I can imagine anywhere else it being way cheaper, although it does require premium fuel, which may not be the most exciting thing for some. With the roof down though, this car, you can hear everything that you got on your Bluetooth. We got some Mary J. Blige on here right now. You know, I won't play music for too long, but it definitely is good. And even with the roof off, you can still hear your buddies. I will say that when you do have the roof up though, it is definitely a loud experience. So maybe some babies actually won't enjoy that. But it definitely is not quiet in any way. You hear engine, you hear other cars, you hear the wind. And as you get up in speed, you just hear more and more. And if your baby's trying to nap, you know, it's 5 p.m. right now, the sun's going down, and you got the roof off, it might not be the best scenario for your child. So clearly Miatas are much of a driver's car. That's usually why people buy them. The best thing about these cars is the back road. So we'll give it some gas here. And you know, the transmission just feels great. And this car has actually reasonable amount of power. You know, it does really well on these back roads, and it handles amazingly. One thing about this car compared to other cars I've driven is just how flat it is. And obviously it's rear-wheel drive, so there's some room to get a little bit sideways. But I will say that while driving it regularly, you don't find yourself in many scenarios where the car's actually going to kick out on you. But what you do find is that it is easy to control in the event that it does. It's a very rewarding car, and it is easy to handle. So, you know, keep that in mind if you don't want to end up in any trees. Steering's very direct. Everything about this car is driver focused. I don't think there's a scenario where this car doesn't shine in terms of when you're driving it and it working as a car. For someone who's single, you're gonna really like this car. Insurance is not that expensive. The car itself is not that expensive. And to maintain it and, you know, fuel it up is not that bad. And like right now I'm getting 30.5 average miles per gallon. So I do find myself going around 300 miles to the tank. You can definitely hear intake noises and other sounds. I'm pretty sure some of that is pumped in. Either way, there's not much insulating you from the car itself, so it definitely is loud. Perfect thing about the cup holder being right here too, say I want some sippy cup action, I totally can have some of my baby's milk. So not exactly a 0 to 60, but I will give it some gas here. And that's 60. You know, it's pretty fun. The transmission feels good. It's always fun to road through gears, but it's nothing quick, but it is fun. You're just not gonna be winning any drag races. And I think a lot of mom cars on the road will have you beat. So one of the main things about this car that actually bothers me is the safety tech. I know that may sound shocking, and I know the opinions on that may be mixed, but when it comes to like lane keep assist, and you know, things like that, it gets to a point where I get really bothered because sometimes it just goes off without you actually swerving the lane, or in the event that I did swerve the lane, I am fully aware that I did that, so I didn't need a constant beeping to tell me. And the worst part is, if you want to turn that off, at least in this car, it'll leave a constant orange light on your dash. It will never go away. If you're enjoying the video so far, hey, please give me a like, you know, drop a comment, let me know if there's any cars you guys have in mind. I'll put in my little collaboration email up here, and you know, definitely give me a subscribe, please. You know, I would love for this to kind of take off. There you go. See, I'm on the back road. So when I'm on the back roads, I actually just turn it off. I would turn it off entirely the full time, and I can't do that. Just hit a bumpy spot. Angel just woke up, and now she's crying. The roof's down, and I am, you know, 15 minutes from home, and she is not happy with me. When you have your Angel in the car, you don't want to do anything reckless. Obviously, you want to keep your Angel very safe, and the roads here are a little slick right now just because the weather is not the best. I will say, whoa there, dude. This car is like a train on rails. It is just so good. Stock exhaust, and it just sounds incredible. And I mean, I'm going, you know, I'm going pretty spirited right now, and it's doing pretty great. I will say I'm on the shorter side, and I know this car is not for everyone, especially if you're taller, maybe a little bulkier. I can't give you my first-hand experience on that. I do have some taller friends, and with the roof up, his head does touch. So, you know, keep that in mind. If you're probably over like 6 feet, 5'11", you may just not be comfortable in this car. So here's what you can see while driving. Shows you the gear. It'll recommend which gear to be in for the most optimal gas, which I tend to follow, but I also tend to ignore. Steering wheel got plenty of buttons. This car does have cruise control, although it's not adaptive, so you gotta make sure you don't hit anyone in front of you. It does have hands-free calling, although the system is a little older and not the best. Just rocking some FM radio right now. Here's the HVAC. So it's got everything you really need. Nothing crazy, and I do have my seat heater on. Overall, as a single person, this car is great, but it does have its drawbacks. You're definitely not doing any large shopping trips, and if you want more than one passenger, you are going to be in a pickle. But with that being said, you do get an unbeatable drop-top experience with great audio, and you don't really get cold. And I mean, I would drop the top in the snow in this car. If it's not raining, the roof for me is off. When it comes to having little Angel in the car, I definitely think it's tricky. I don't know right now off the top of my head what the score is for the Future Father Practicality Score, but I will put it up on the screen. But I don't think it's looking too good in that scenario. That's all for today. If you guys like this video, please drop a like, leave a comment if there's any cars you guys are interested in. We'll test that car out, give it the Future Father Practicality Score. For all the future fathers out there, stay safe, drive safe, and I hope to see you on the next one.